Hey guys, what's going on? This is Darryl Addison at Torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison at Torpedopot.com, and I'm sitting here with my friend Felix. Just gonna have a nice little sit-down chat together. He has torpedo pots and I have torpedo pots, and we're just enjoying them together. And we're doing it over a little Miller Lite, I guess, an American pastime. And we're just gonna sit down and break bread together. And so we were talking about how the torpedo pot works, and Felix made a good point. He says, well, you tell him. What do you think, sir?
Well, they really work good. You know, if you like me, kind of lazy, you know, like wake up in the morning and in the afternoon and water your plants or whatever. No, I don't need to do that now because I have the torpedo pot. Torpedo pot is self-water. You put a timer on it. You put the time you want the water to run to your torpedoes, and at the same time you don't waste no water or no time putting water on your torpedoes. And it's a good idea, man. You know, a nice saving trip to go to the supermarket and try to find the best organic food or whatever you want to call them, but they're expensive. And also with the pandemic that we are going through now, you know, you don't know what they put on the food and the vegetable you buy at the supermarket. So I decided to, without, you know, to do the torpedoes, and it worked fine. And that way you have food that you don't need to go to the supermarket and no time. You just plant your seeds and wait till they grow.
Is there anything you want to tell them in Spanish that those listeners don't understand English that could better be explained?
Sí, te puedo decir que si te quieres economizar un dinerito creciendo tu propio producto, tú lo puedes hacer con Torpedo Pot. Tú no tienes que echarle agua, rociarla con agua ni nada, porque el sistema echa agua él solo. Tú tienes un tiempo, un reloj, y le pones el tiempo y te olvidas de las plantas. Te puedes ir de vacaciones y venir para atrás y coger tu producto. Y a la vez te economiza dinero mucho, y es bueno para tu salud porque tú sabes lo que tú le estás echando a las plantas. Y en este caso de los torpedo pot, you don't put nothing on the plant, nothing on the, nada en la tierra ni nada. Eso se descompone ella sola y se come las bacterias y todo eso. ¿Qué hay mejor que eso? Compra el torpedo pot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So thank you for Mr. Felix, first of all, purchasing the torpedo pots and enjoying this little moment together where we can sit down and. This is Mr. Cruz's property, Cruz Diaz's property, and it's beautiful. You know, I like breaking bread. I know people say, "Oh, Darryl, I have beer on the film." I know, I shouldn't have it, but I have a master's in theology. All right, so I understand the importance of living out my theology with my friend than trying to live out my Christianity. And so that's what I'm here, is that I believe in God, and I'm glad that I have an opportunity to share with people who are just being themselves. And I appreciate that. That's what friends are for. But he's definitely one of my best friends. I love this man like my own family member. As you see, I hate killing bugs because they provide such a good service to the community sometimes. But so how do you like your torpedo pot? Is it okay? Is it doing what you want it to do?
Yes, claro que sí, of course. Porque de esta manera Dios nos ha dado todos los alimentos que necesitamos, pero no sabemos cómo atenderlos. Pero ahora con esta innovation of Torpedopot, we know that we can grow food and that we share with the whole world. People are hungry in some different places, even in America, because they don't know how to cultivate their food, their own food. So this technology that we're bringing you now is good for that. And you share the love of Christ also with your neighbor and everybody. So let's do that.
So, Mr. Felix, you've seen Torpedopot grow. You know what its potential possibilities are, sir. You were speaking of Cuba, South America, Colombia. Talk about those areas, and what do you feel about the impact Torpedopot will have in those areas?
Well, those areas, like South America, Central America, they are poor countries, and as you know, majority of the governments are corrupt. So they holding the food to give.
Well, let's not say they're corrupt. From what we learn on TV, they're corrupt.
Okay,
but
so
I haven't read my research yet.
For what we know, they are corrupt people, and there are corrupt people everywhere. But that they holding technology so that people can have their own fruit or vegetable to eat and maintain their family. So I think that if this Torpedopot reach to those countries will be better, much better than what they are now.
And sir, the reason why I say there's a power base in every country, and sometimes you have to negotiate with that power base,
right?
Because still they have to distribute and make sure the services are protected and distributed in that country. Right. So sometimes I withdraw by calling anybody corrupt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you have to work through the current system to get to the ones we need to reach. My brother knows the difference. I mean, our mission is to feed the world. Yeah. There's nothing that we want to stand in front of us to accomplish that goal. All right. So South America, here we come.
Here we come.
We're coming fierce, and we're coming hard. But we need investors who are able to take the risk with us to work in those areas to make it happen. Tell me, I visited Haiti, I visited different countries in Africa. Excuse me, I've visited many different countries in Africa, some countries in South America, and when I look at life in Africa, I look at it as normal everyday people living on the land and just trying to get by. And some of them are just as fearful as we are in terms of where our next meal is going to come from. Not just next meal, we probably get meal, but when the next healthy meal is going to arrive.
Yes.
So, can you speak to those? What would you say to those individuals?
Well, I say that God has given us the knowledge to, and remember that He's the Creator, but He gave us that knowledge to put this Torpedopot to work and to feed our people with their own land. And I don't know if you get me, guys.
Dude, you're making me cry.
But the thing is that to see a kid hungry, you feel like, what am I doing? I put some seeds on the ground, but they didn't grow. And I put water on it, but they didn't grow. But with this technology, you don't have to put water, you don't have to worry about water. And they grow anything on the Torpedopot. You can grow anything. So all you guys that like vegetables and stuff, This is one thing that you will love.
Wow, that's thank you. Now, even though I've shown you what, and you've been around me, and you've seen the potential of the Torpedopot, why did you buy it yourself? Why did you want to be a part of the Torpedopot family? Why did you want to be here?
Because one thing is I like to eat a lot. You can see my complexion. I like to
What does the complexion have to do with you eating a lot?
Because, I mean, they say that big people eat more.
Big people, okay. Big people eat more.
So,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
if you are a single man or you married with 5 kids, and will you have enough money to buy food for those people, vegetables, crops and whatever? No, you won't. But with the Torpedopot, you will have enough food to feed your whole family.
Wow.
Bro, what you waiting on?
Wow. Dude, you're you're speaking from your heart, man.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm at my buddy's house. I love this guy to death. I love this man to death, you know, but he's an awesome person. But the fact of the matter is that he has a vision for what he believes in how you can use the Torpedopot. You have a vision on how you can use the Torpedopot. Dude, the only thing that's stopping us is us getting together to make it happen. Sign a reseller agreement if you want to be able. We have prescribed amounts you have to fulfill. Once you're able to fulfill those amounts, the barrier is not very high, and you can make it happen for yourself. But Mr. Felix, I want to thank you for this interview. And you know, I can speak to a analyst, and I can speak to analysts about world hunger and you know who's affected, what's impacted. But sometimes when you're going into business in the area that you're going into with Torpedopot, the best analyst is in your neighborhood. The best analyst is the lack of food on your table, healthy food on your table. You become the business analyst. And so that's why when I speak to Mr. Felix, I'm speaking from his experience, my experience. I need the Torpedopot because of my health. I can't imagine, don't get me wrong, I eat out, I enjoy restaurants. I love eating out. I love going out with my wife and sitting out and eating. I love it. But the fact of the matter is, I need to know when I'm eating is healthy. And so a certain portion of my food is dedicated towards food with no fertilizers. And they're good and healthy. I need to open up my pores to keep them working, open up my cells, to open up my digestive tract, and to open up my respiratory tract. And those natural fruits and vegetables, they will do that for you. So then if you eat the old food, or excuse me, if you eat the food that may be nutritious but still has additives in it that really the body repels, you can better survive, and your stomach can better do what it needs to do. And so you have been with Torpedopot early on. You've been with us for sure. You've been, how many years have you been with us?
For 2 years.
2 years. And you have been putting plants and dirt and soil on all of our planters, and I as far as I'm concerned, he's like one of the board of directors, and he doesn't know it yet. But when we grow, my buddy and me will retire together because we did a lot of hard work to make this possible. You don't imagine how many days I told him, do not touch that frickin' food or I'll kill you.
And he was right. You know why? Because he wake up in the morning. First thing in the morning, he go to the Torpedopots and eat everything that he find for breakfast. That's only breakfast. So you know we usually eat 3 times a day. So you could see him after the 3 times in the day at night time eating the food.
At night time,
picking up the food, and then you come in the next day and say, where's the The jalapenos that I
What
have
the
here.
jalapenos? Right. I had my eye on those jalapenos. What the hell you do? You ate the jalapenos.
Well, they're tomatoes. No, tomatoes are gone.
Yeah.
But this is why.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so cool about it is that he's right. I mean, being able to get out and eat your food, and the funny thing about it though, because I didn't allow him to eat my freaking food.
I'm not complaining because of that, but you know.
But because I didn't allow him to eat my food, you know what he did? He went and got his own torpedo pie. And he said, you know what, I can do this.
I bought some for him, but you know, I had to wash him because he would come and take my food. But you know, he do it. He's all right.
I ain't touch this man food. But listen, look. You know what's so interesting? Because I asked him today, I said, listen. I said, he says, Daryl, he says, I'm growing so much lettuce that I can't eat this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, don't take me wrong. I don't like to throw no food away.
Yeah.
But those torpedo pots have so many on it that they was all around the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, nah. Just like my lettuce. And tomorrow, if God willing, I'm gonna cut them all, clean them.
Dude, are you gonna put anything else in the pot? You gonna put something else in the pot if you take it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a spinach because I'm like I want to be like Popeye.
You really? How many spinach seeds do you have?
Like 10.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a lot though, man.
I know, but listen, you can grow anything on the torpedo pot.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And they grow a lot.
Do me a favor though. Don't take the lettuce out. Just drop the spinach seeds in there. That's all you gotta do. It'll grow by itself. You can have the spinach and the lettuce grow at the same time.
Oh yeah?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
No,
So just drop the lettuce, because his lettuce is I think I'm gonna come over that time and steal it. I think I'm gonna steal his lettuce.
I mean,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not putting anything on it to fertilize and nothing.
Yeah,
just
I know.
dirt and water.
I know.
And the sun, of course, and the weather that we're receiving now. But imagine all these things in South America.
Yeah.
Or Central America.
I know.
That is not that cold.
I know, bro. I know.
You know, they have fruits and vegetables all around the year.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
How many people can be eating nice and healthy?
I know.
And at the same time that we eat healthy,
Right.
we don't get sick as often.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for the whole scenario of the world, of the health.
Puerto Rico, I mean, obviously we can ship directly to Puerto Rico, but some of the areas around the world, I want you to understand, we need manufacturing sites in these areas.
Yeah.
We can grow more food than hydroponics, or you can grow in the ground combined. Matter of fact, we can grow 100%, 1,000% more food than what you can do in just that right there. Torpedo pie is no joke. So if you're listening to my voice, you want to make a lot of money, you want to open up that manufacturing site inside of your country to provide food for your people, then you need to give me a call and my buddy a call.
Yeah.
And we see what we can actually work out. Because there's a lot of hungry people out there. And there's a lot of money to be made and services to be provided to those individuals who need to be able to eat. Do you agree?
Yeah. And our next video, I'm gonna buy a couple of stuff, a couple lettuce, vegetables and stuff like that, so you can see the price that you spend every time you go to the supermarket. I don't have nothing against the supermarket,
Right.
but you don't know how many people touch that food the whole day.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know if one of those people are sick of, don't have to be what the pandemic is now, some other stuff. And all those fertilizers and stuff like that they use to kill probably the insects and stuff like that. But remember, insects always gonna be here. This is good, guys. This is real good.
All right, so we're going to start clocking out. I think I just want to continue to tape because I don't feel like getting up and turning the thing off. But
Right. Well,
that being said, I want to run up my megabytes on that disk. I got more space on that disk.
no, but for the next video that we make, like I said before, I'm gonna go to the supermarket and buy some vegetables, some veggies that you can plant yourself on your torpedo pot and forget about to water them or nothing, and you will see the difference in size and in price.
Yeah, that's so true. It's very
Yes.
true. That's very true. Very true. So, all right. Well, this is a good time for us to call a pause. I want to ask him one more question. And you know what I want to ask this question is to prove to us, or to you rather, I sat down with some of the top leaders in the food industry. All right, these are executives, vice presidents, and in the food industry. And one of the questions I asked them is that I bet 70% of you have never eaten food with no fertilizers. And they corrected me. They said, Mr. Addison, you're wrong. It's about 97% of us, if not 100. And so even those with money don't have access to healthy foods. And I have to tell you, that is a great opportunity for any business to step in and to flourish like you've never seen before. We have a world crisis of food out there. And this crisis is no longer about money. Money is valueless right now. Your money does not mean anything. Most people who have money know that if it's not plugged into a business cycle that can turn your money over and turn it out, it's useless. So the real goal now is no longer money. The goal now are resources. Whoever owns the resources owns the future. And for us, it's going to be Torpedopot food. And so we need to get in your hands the ability to grow an unlimited amount of food so that you also can prosper and benefit from this technology. And so Torpedopot is not just a planter where you're saying its design is that, oh, we have a planter and it's self-watering, it's self-growing, it's self-germinating, it germinates your plants, all that stuff, but it grows fungus. It's a certain technology behind our planters to make it work the most effective than any other planter in the industry. The architect has been designed to not to develop fungus and to grow. So I'm going to ask my buddy this one last question. I've talked to members in the Department of U.S. Agriculture, which is a great department. But however, we want to challenge them with growing new healthy foods organically. But with that being said, people say that, have you heard any news in South America about the food shortages or the crisis happening there? Have you heard anything lately about that?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
And also, you know, don't take me wrong. I don't want to talk about no government or nothing like that. But what they do in that is they holding the food supplies to the people, and the food deteriorate. So it ain't worth it. It's not healthy. But with this technology, I think that all the government, all the people in the politics, in the public side, they will know that this is good for them and for their people. That's my own opinion.
So are people, have you heard about people?
Oh, they're starving. They're starving. Not only in South America, not only in Central America, in some other places like Africa, Ethiopia, even Arabia or Russia, for God's sake. Those people are starving, though.
So I like, because I was talking to a city government official One of the people on our staff was the Secretary of Commerce for the United States of America. All right, so he now has adopted the Torpedopot way of growing and living and being. All right, so this is a fast-growing movement. I love this man. I love him with all my heart. He's my mentor, one of my mentors. But with that being said, I urge government officials, because once people start growing, you don't have to invest a lot in your infrastructure. And the people will take that informal economy and they'll grow it by themselves. So you don't have to worry about overthrow. You don't have to worry about rioting. You don't have to worry about people looting. All that stuff is eliminated when you work with us to build your infrastructure to be able to grow food in your country. That's what we want to do. And dude, listen, I love all of you, especially my Central American brothers and sisters, my South American, Canadian brothers and sisters. Of course, you know, my heart is Africa. We want to build, we have what is called the $1 Billion Initiative, where we want to build a manufacturing facility in every country in Africa. Not only do we want to bring them food, but we want to bring them technology. That's what we want to do for Africa. And I need you on board to do that. For Russia, we can grow food in the wintertime. We have the technology to allow you to be able to allow your citizens to feed themselves. But remember now, once they start growing, you get a new taxable base. And when you get that taxable base, it helps build that imperialistic idea, that centralized idea. And I think you can do very well. Europeans, I thank you so much. Again, I love Merkel. She's my sweetheart. But I love what you're doing. I love the peace. I love the harmony that you're working with. And I want to be able to be a part of that harmony and peace. I know all governments has been involved in nasty, dirty killings and murderings and control from colonialization and things like that. But as much as I love my brothers and sisters in so many parts of the world, especially those who've been mistreated, we still believe in feeding God's people. And we love you. You're part of God's race. You're part of all of us. And so our goal is to feed the world. We want to feed the world humanely with our patents, and we want to be able to lock down patents. We want to be able to open up facilities so people can grow, because the limited amount of space in the UK, and expensive it is, your citizens can grow their food within their apartments. We have buildings being erected in Detroit right now that have central watering systems, so all your planters can plug up, so every house can grow their own food. And we think that's a really divine idea. Yes. Yeah. So, with me, myself is Darrell Addison. I'm the president, CEO, founder of Torpedopot, and Mr.
Felix Cruz Diaz.
And he is
from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. And I've been to Puerto Rico, and I've been to my buddy's hometown. And
San Juan.
San Juan. San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we're going to turn out right here. Guys, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We're going to do more of these interviews so you can see the application of the Torpedopot. But I'm going to enjoy time with my buddy here. We may not have food to throw on the grill, but we're going to make the most of it. We just love today. It's so beautiful. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.